Alright, this will be the People News. Not attorney, not giving legal advice. Anything I say or do, it's just my opinion. I'm hearsay, so is this video. Okay? Arm yourself with knowledge, y'all. Okay? Ignorance is no excuse. Use that Second Amendment. Okay? Alright. And never look straight forward. Always look around you, be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. So we're going to go back into a little bit of the child support section, family courts and all that. What most of us don't know or realize, 42, 46 of the USC is contract. Okay? A person's an entity. In order for the person to get all after a man and woman, there has to be a contract. Which entitles this, when I seen this video, by the way, I'm arm length. I've seen a couple of videos over the years. He's got some good content if you guys want to go check him out. That being said, there's a case law that I read many, many years ago, and I cannot remember what it was called. And enhances, he has it, and this is the reason why one of the reasons why I'm doing the video. All right, so I can have it on record on my YouTube, and that way I can write it down and pull that case back up and reread it again, because it's actually a very important case. Let's proceed forward, shall we? Oh, this is a man, Osiris. Osiris. Okay?
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Yeah.
Okay. And the Ahmed Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. Get some volume. We are Deception Stoppers, the 4D Terminators, America's only 4D education service. Thank God I'm not a lawyer. Thank God this is not a law firm. We don't advocate that you don't support your human offspring. We simply advocate that you made them in private, take care of them in private. And today I'm going to teach you how to sue for deprivation of your right to worship God to the dictates of your own free will. All right. So I'm using the Illinois State Constitution. All right. If you go to the state constitution, all right, it'll have words similar to these. So we, the people of the state, are grateful to Almighty God for the civil, political, and religious liberty which He has permitted us to enjoy, and seeking His blessing upon our endeavors. All right. So if you go down to here, let's see. religious freedom. All right. Basically, you have the right to worship God. Okay, and no human interference can no human authority or human period shall interfere with that. All right. So right here, this tells you that the Constitution, all right, because it pays homage to Almighty God, is ecclesiastic, which means it deals with the church. Okay. All right. So the state is relying on God. All right. You have the right to worship God. Okay. When these public officials take an oath, they take it what? So help me God on the Holy Scriptures. All right. But herein lies the problem. Okay. Number one, you got duped because they're paying homage to God. All right. Genesis 1:26, God created man. All right. He didn't create non-custodial parents. All right. And as a man, you are by nature God, free and independent. Free means not subject to the legal constraint of another, having the power to follow the dictates of your own free will. Okay?
And right there, I'm going to add my extension to it, obviously. Right? Even in there, it also says we have dominion over the land. Okay? The land, air, and water, and all the creepy crawlers on the earth and all that kind of stuff. But when you go through the first three, right? Land, air, and water. Okay? God's law. And then it extends to the rest of it. This is my law saying I'm giving you dominion over everything.
So if you have a child support issue, you are not free. And I'm going to show you how you're no longer free. All right? You are also independent, not dependent, not subject to control, restriction, modification, or limitation from any given outside source. All right? Those two definitions comes from Black's Law's Dictionary. Okay? So for this, governments are created among men deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. That is you. All right? You got a driver's license, you consented to be governed. Anything you're dealing with government, all right, you're getting something from them or you ask them, you consented to be governed. You waived every inherent right that you had. All right? So, this is what happens. In order to subject you to Title 4D, all right, what they had to do was convert you to what's known as a non-custodial pay rent. And they did this under the mark of the beast, 666. We're going to go down here to A3C. All right? It says notice of a non-custodial pay rent social security number. All right? Number one, as you should know, social security numbers cannot be used as a form of identity. All right? Number two, the social security number is the property of the Social Security Administration, which means that the non-custodial pay rent is also property. And the reason why they had to convert you from the non-custodial pay rent because its property has no rights. So you went from being a man by nature equally free and independent to a non-custodial pay rent, which is property, has no rights. God created man. Who created this non-custodial pay rent? It's known as what's called an ens legis. It is a creature of law. It is created by law. All right. Now, the reason they do this, okay, let me share this screen. This is the case law. It's one of my favorites. All right, and this is foremost true. All right. Inasmuch as every government is an artificial person, right here, an abstraction, and a creature of the mind only. A government can only interface with other artificial persons. So when they're...
Again, I'm going to stick my right there, right? Only can deal with artificial persons. Why do you think all laws have persons in it? Okay? This is the reason why. It's so they can have some type of authority. Which, for me, state of Texas is the corporation part, right? We got a Texas Republic, and then we got the state of Texas. And in Texas, there was a court case saying as much. There are two different jurisdictions. Okay? So, I, per se, on the land of the Texas Republic, okay, a man act as one of the people at times and may convert into persons at other times. Okay? Now, you don't have to add that last part in there because you want to try to stay away from it as much as possible, but that's what they did. They created a person to get jurisdiction. There's the reason why you challenge jurisdiction all the time, and they can't never answer it. Is this case right here? Let's see here. Now, I'm going to do a little bit different on this. Write this case down. Okay? Write it down. Because it's a very important case. Other case you need to write down is Hale versus Hinkle. Alright? It tells you private, public. Private, public. Okay? They're trying to keep you in the public. And that artificial person is public. You want to stand as a man or woman.
With the non-custodial parent, that is the artificial person. The artificial person is not a human being. All right? The imaginary, having neither actuality nor substance, is foreclosed from creating and attaining parity with the tangible. What this means is, as a man who's by nature equally free and independent, they cannot deal with you. Okay? Even in common law, but give or take. All right? The legal manifestation is that no government, as well as any law, agency, child support agency, aspect court, etc., can concern itself with anything other than corporate artificial persons and the contracts between them. If you establish...
All right. We're going to pause right there. There was a case, and I can't think of the other one, but it was Bush versus that other guy, and a big old controversy, Bush Jr., by the way. All right. And I can't remember what it was, but it was challenging elections and all that. Well, the judge asked them, who's the man that was harmed? Not the person, but who was the man that was harmed? So these judges know there's a difference. We just don't know. Because we are led to believe into something different to kind of keep us in this box. But, yes, the judge asked who the man is. Well, you know, this and this and this. The attorneys did this, this, and this. This is the reason why Bush did win eventually. Because they can never bring in the man that was harmed by this election fraud. Alleged fraud. Okay? Or scheme, or however you want to look at it. Again, this was a good few years ago when I read this. But what was really important was the simple fact to put the man inside the documents. You guys can look it up on the case. Okay? Just hearsay, verify. Just saying.
Paternity, that is a contract between you and that and which created an artificial person. If you got married, all right, that is a contract. It creates an artificial person. Okay? So what they did was they converted you to a non-custodial parent. All right? The non-custodial parent, gentlemen, appeared...
Okay. Even if we decide to get married nowadays, which way everything is between men and women today, I don't know if I really recommend that anymore. All right, religiously speaking, you should. However, if you do it, religiously or not, well, what you should do is not find a preacher that was willing to marry you with a couple of witnesses and not actually use the state in your marriage, but only between you, the preacher, and the witnesses and God. Okay? I'm just saying, on that behalf, okay? Or you enter your own contract with the woman or man that you're engaged with, okay? But use it as a private matter, not as the state of in there, and get a preacher that will not say, Well, the power of the state and God. Well, how come the state was before God? Even preachers are doing it wrong nowadays, y'all. And nowhere did it say in the good book that the government is going to be before God. Nowhere. And it never said that you must have government intervene. In fact, the whole thing about Jesus was keeping government out of your life.
My bad. My bad. All right, the non-custodial pay rate appears in the Mark of the Beast, 42 USD 666, over 57 times. You will not see the word man. Remember, unius exclusio est persons alterius. The mention of one person is the exclusion of another. Okay? So what they did was they converted you. And what's really the hypocrisy about it, all right, when they swear they will still help them God. But when they're operating under 42 USC 666, that's a violation of the Bible. Period. All right. You read the captions at the beginning of this video. Let he who has wisdom. All right. And also because they're operating under 666, anytime you are forced to go there, you're going there against your religious beliefs. You can't be compelled to attend a place of worship because that's what they're worshiping. All right. The court orders, well, these contract orders all come from 666. All right? Listen, gentlemen, you can sue them for this. On the next episode, we'll talk about how they violate your Fourth Amendment rights, okay? If you need me, bang the line. All right, we'll get you all squared away. And get up with your rights, folks. It's time.
There you go. All right. So, do I need to say any more than that? Just saying. Definitely check out that case. Read it for yourself. Or review this video. Or go to his and review that one case law. Because it's actually a very important case law. And use that Hell versus Hinkle with your cases mixed in with that. But always stand as a man or a woman. Okay? That's where your power is. And your political power is the people. And we need to learn not to keep entering all these quasi-contracts without even knowing about it. My people will fall due to lack of knowledge. Just saying. This way the people knows. Bye, y'all.